So here we are with the title software process. Here in this video we're talking about what is software process, what are the key requirements, what is waterfall model, what are the steps of waterfall model, software specifications and software validation, software verifications. Now, so what is software process? A software process is essentially a systematic approach to software development encompassing various activities, methods, and practice. It serves as a roadmap guiding developers through the entire software lifecycle from conception to retirement. Here are the key aspects. What are the key aspects of software process? Planning, designing, coding, testing, deployment, and at the last is always maintenance. Planning. Planning involves defining project scopes, setting goals, estimating resources, and creating schedules. What does designing includes? Designing includes developing the software architects, outlining models, and defining interfaces. Coding. In coding phase, we are writing the actual source codes based on the design specifications, whereas in testing phase, we are verifying and validating the software to ensure it meets the requirements and functions correctly. And deployment. Deployment is the phase in which we release the software to the user, often involving installations, configurations, and training. And at the last, but not the least, maintenance, providing ongoing support, updates, and bug fixes to keep the software oriented operational. Waterfall model. So what is waterfall model? What are the steps included in waterfall model? Analyzing and planning, design and development, quality assurance, implementations and deployment, maintenance and support. So what steps of waterfall model? Requirements phase. What are the requirements needs in waterfall model? We first needs to gather and documenting customer requirements and expectations, defining project scopes and objectives. And in design phase, we are defining the system components, interface, and data structure. Also in this phase, we are creating design documents such as diagrams and flowcharts. Whereas in implementation phase, we are writing the code based on the design specifications, building and integrating software components or modules. Testing phase. As we know, in testing phase, we're identifying and documenting defects or discrepancies, conducting various types of testing such as unit testing, integrity testings, and system testings. And in deployment phase, we are releasing the software to end users or customers. And also we installing and configuring the software on target systems. Maintenance phase, where we are implementing software updates and enhancements. We are also managing changes and ensuring the long-term reliability of the software. What are the advantages of waterfall model? What are the disadvantages of waterfall model? And when to use waterfall model? Advantages. It provides a structured approach with clear milestone, well suited for projects with stable requirements. And disadvantage, it is limited flexibility to accommodate changes, potential for costly rework if requirements are misunderstood. When to use waterfall model? Well defined projects with stable requirements are. So here we are with the topic incremental development. In incremental development, we first need initial planning, requirements, analysis and designs, evaluations, testings, and deployment. So, first, incremental planning. It includes identifying and prioritizing features or modules for each increment. We are also planning the development and testing activities for each increment in increment planning. We are setting milestone and release dates. We also ensures alignments with overall project objective and timelines. Integrations phase. In integration phase, we are integrating individual increments into a cohesive system. We are also testing the integrated systems to ensure compatibility and functionality. We are addressing any issues or conflicts. We are also verifying that the integrated system meets overall project requirements. Whereas in deployment phase, we are releasing the integrated systems to the end user or customers, installing and configuring the systems, providing users training and support for the deployed systems. We are also ensuring a smooth transactions from development to productions. And at the last, incremental development. Developing and delivering functional increments according to the plan. We are conducting testing and validations, incorporating feedback from stakeholders, monitoring progress, and adjusting plans as needed. So, software specifications. Software specifications. What are software specifications? Specifications where defining requirements and constraints. So, in software specifications, this involves gathering documentations and analyzing the needs and constraints of the software systems. It includes understanding user requirements, business goals, technical specifications. Propose. What are the propose of software specifications? The software specification phase lays the foundations for the entire development process by clearly defining what needs to be built and what constraint must be adhered to. Methods. Techniques such as interviews, survey, workshops, and analysis of existing documentations are commonly used to elicit requirements. What are the outputs? The output of this phase is typically a requirement documents or specifications detailing the functional and non-functional requirements of the software system. Software validations. We are first testing to ensure the software meets requirements. This phase involves systematically testing the software to ensure that it meets the specified requirements and performs as expected. Propose. What are the purpose of software validations? Why do we need software validations? Software validations aims to identify defects, bugs, and inconsistencies in the software before it is released to user, thereby ensuring its quality and reliability. Methods. It includes various technical testing techniques such as unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and acceptance testings, which are employed to validate different aspects of the software. What are the outputs of software validations? The output of this phase includes test plans, test cases, test reports, and any identified defects or issues that need to be addressed. Software design and implementations. First, we are creating the architecture and writing code. In this phase, the high-level architecture of the software system is designed, defining how different components will interact to fulfill the requirements specified in their earlier phase. What are the purpose of software designs and implementations? Why do we need it? The software design phases translates the requirements specified in the previous phase into a technical blueprint that guides the development process. Methods. It designs methodologies such as objects-oriented design, structure designs, and component-based designs, which are used to create the software architecture. Coding is typically done using programming language appropriate for the project. What are the outputs? At last, we need outputs. At last, we need outputs. The output of this phase includes design components, diagrams, example UML diagrams, and source codes, and software evaluations. Updating and maintaining the software over time. Why do we maintaining and updating the software over time? Software evolutions refers to the ongoing process of updating, enhancing, and maintaining the software to meet changing requirements, address bugs, and adapt to new technologies and environments. Proposes the software evolutions phase ensures that the software remains relevant, reliable, and usable throughout its life cycle despite changing user needs and technological advancements. What are the methods? It includes activities such as bug fixing, feature enhancements, performance optimizations, and software refactoring, which are carried out to evolve the software over time. And outputs. The output of this phase includes updated versions of the software, release notes, documenting changes, and ongoing support and maintenance documentations. Process improvement. What is process improvement? Process improvement involves systematically evaluating and enhancing the software development process to increase efficiency, reduce defects, and improve quality over time. It includes proposes, methods, benefits, challenges. Proposes. Why do we need process improvement? Because it helps us to optimize the software development lifecycle by identifying areas of inefficiency, waste, or bottlenecks and implementing targeted improvements. Methods. It includes various processing improvements frameworks and methodologies which are available, including Six Sigma, Lean, Agile, and DevOps, each with its own set of principles, practice, and tools. Benefits: it drives organizational learning and innovations, fosters a culture of collaborations and experimentations, enhances customers' values and satisfactions, and delivering speed. Challenges: it requires commitment and leadership support, may encounter resistance to change, requires ongoing measurements and evaluations to ensure sustained improvements. Coping with changes, prototyping. Prototyping involves building a simplified versions of the software to demonstrate key functionalities and gather feedback from stakeholders. Proposes. What are the proposes of this? The primary goal of prototyping is to reduce uncertainty and mitigate risks associated with unclear or evolving requirements. Benefits: what are the benefits we get from coping with changes? It facilitates orderly validations of requirements, fosters collaborations between stakeholders and development teams. Methods: it includes prototypes which can take various forms, including paper prototype, mock-ups, wireframes, or functional prototypes. Challenges: risks of misinterpretations if stakeholders focuses on superficial aspects, potential divergence from the final solution if not managed properly. Incremental delivery includes breaking down the software projects into small, manageable increments or iterations, is delivering a subset of the overall functionality. Proposes incremental delivering accelerates times to market by allowing early delivery of key features, gathering user feedbacks iteratively. Methods: agile methodologies like Scrum or Kanban are commonly used for incremental delivery with iterative development cycles and continuous feedback loops. Benefits: it enables early and frequent delivery of usable software, facilitates adaptive planning and flexibility to accommodate changing requirements. It also mitigates project risks. Challenges: it requires careful prioritizations of features, effective coordinations between development and testing teams, potential for integration issues between increments.